Have you ever wondered what life would look like after electing Hillary Clinton to become President of the United States from the perspective of your everyday citizen? Have you ever wondered what you would get on your rug if you neglect to take your pet clam outside to do its business? Well, hopefully we'll be killing two birds with one stone in this one, because in today's humble opinion, we'll be shitting where we sleep, in Sheltered. Sheltered is a post-Clinton, post-apocalyptic survival simulator developed by both Unicube and Team 17 Digital and published by the latter. I can't tell you with 100% certainty that this game is a message against Hillary Clinton, but the clues are all there. See? There isn't a wall. Joking aside, the title feels like a pixelated version of This War of Mine in that it combines all the thrill of the personal management found in The Sims with the tense atmosphere of a post-war universe. Though in this case it's more a radioactive global scale war and less civil revolution. Maybe it's not about Hillary after all, or else you'd be struggling through both. Despite the similarities in theme and genre, the point where Sheltered parts from This War of Mine is in its emphasis on gameplay mechanics rather than story. For instance, where in This War of Mine you were presented with groups of predetermined characters and scenarios, in Sheltered you take control of a customizable family and choose from a variety of personality traits and attributes. You can, of course, go with the traditional nuclear family, or you can be two dads, a girl, and a little boy suffering from gender dysphoria. That's right, it's Tumblr friendly. Another notable difference is that This War of Mine seems to take place in two different segments depending on the time of day, whereas Sheltered largely takes place in your underground bunker that's swarming with radioactivity. By which I mean you use the radio a lot to control what's going on with the characters that you send out into the crazy world outside. What did you think I meant? What would the point of an underground bunker be if it were radioactive Karen? There aren't any elements of stealth or thrill here, you just kind of pick from a list of places for your characters to go and send them off. They'll regularly check in with questions, inventory management, and the occasional encounter with another human being where you can try to talk them into joining you or pretend that you're going to fight them but then get your ass kicked like the little bitch you are. There are a few elements to the gameplay that I don't really like its heavy reliance on RNG to shape your experience. You're not always going to be able to find the materials that you need to survive because they just might not show up, which is particularly suckish when all of the high necessity items that break down more complex items are difficult to make. Then there's the fact that you can't tell which people are normal people just trying to get by like you and which ones are apparently experts in jujitsu and don't have time to fuck around with your candy ass. Which I mean I guess is kind of realistic, but I still feel like some kind of level indicator wouldn't be unwarranted. It's not just a grab bag in real life. There are often things that can tip you off to the kind of people that you probably shouldn't punch. Another thing is the trust system, where you won't let people go scavenging for you because you don't trust them quite yet, so you force them to sit around on their ass and eat all your food. Then once you understand that they're selfish assholes, you suddenly trust them enough to pull their weight for some reason. There's also the fact that it suggests that you put on your protective suit to go outside and repair your filtration systems, but when you send people out on a mission, they're like children who see their first snow and embrace the winter air like they won't catch the AIDS or whatever it is you catch when you go outside. Hey Susan, I really think you should at least consider a jacket. No, just gonna go out there into the... Oh, okay, well, maybe later. But hey, props for at least giving me the option to send my child out into the wasteland unsupervised. Maybe it's actually telling the secret story of Pokemon. Think about it, 10-year-olds wandering off into the earth, encountering unscrupulous individuals and mutated animals, dying? Okay, never mind. Unfortunately, I never survive very long, so there are a few features that I've not yet been able to experience. Like having people break into my safety bunker, or needing to install defenses because people break into my safety bunker. Also, there's apparently a way to hunt animals that are above my base, but I couldn't be bothered to figure that out. Especially since the refrigerator's so expensive. Ha, fuck that. Normally you'd find this quirky little thing on Steam for the relatively fair price of $14.99, though I'd personally wait until it fell at least to $10 or lower. At its absolute cheapest, you can pick it up for $5.09, which is pretty fair, even if you're not completely sold and just kinda want to give it a shot. Gameplay earns a 7 out of 10 because while it doesn't have much of a lore or story, it does present a fair bit of challenge within the realm of the micromanagement style simulator genre. It's not incredibly difficult to get the hang of, but actually winning at the game will take patience, thought, and execution. There are a few weak points like the somewhat dull combat and sometimes aggravating random number generation, but it's certainly not enough to make the game not enjoyable. Value earns an 8 out of 10 because it brings quite a bit of variety to what we've seen in the bundle thus far, both in tone and style. It loses points because, again, it is considerably reminiscent of This War of Mine, which we received a little while back. It's been long enough that it doesn't feel too incredibly repetitive, but at the same time not far enough that we've completely forgotten that it exists, and have a fresh enough mind to enjoy the title without comparing them too rigidly. However, it's also worth mentioning that while This War of Mine has more impact, Sheltered has a little bit more of a light-hearted nature, which improves the fun factor. Overall, Sheltered earns a 7.5 out of 10, which nets it a B. A wonderfully envisioned post-apocalyptic SimCity with quite a bit to offer.